lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 28 of Let's Play Wall Street Raider. I'm RakeM, your host. Before we get into today's episode, I just got to show you something real quick. I just got back from a poker tournament trip in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And I come back to check up on all of my latest emails and articles and everything, and I came across this one on crack.com. 5 hilarious stories of stock prices driven by stupidity. And what really made this funny for me is, playing Wall Street Raider, there's a lot of really out there kind of scenarios and, both cheat scenarios and game scenarios that happen randomly, and I'm not going to give away what any of those are, but some of them seem kind of far-fetched, but none of them are as far-fetched as these 5 examples of reality. And I'm going to put a link to this down in the description, and any of you that really enjoy the game and love some of the humor that's in the game as well will get a kick out of these. This is just unbelievable. Some of the stock price jumps and whatnot, and the reasons behind them, just the ridiculous reasons behind it. But anyway, check that out when you get a chance. So last time out, we had an upswing. We went from 63.4 trillion up to 70.4. Some of that's due to the fact that we got another easing policy. The price of the insurance company is up, and the interest rate is coming down. Hopefully that will continue. Now our commodities are still screwing around with us. We have lots of corn, lots of wheat, lots of oil. We don't have any silver or gold. And we do have some of the index, although not very much in the scheme of things. But we have about $5 trillion wrapped up in these other 3, in crude, wheat, and corn. And as I updated my spreadsheet, which by the way, we're back to using Word. OpenOffice was crashing just too much, so I finally found my installation CD for Word for Microsoft Office and Excel. So I've got that installed again. So we're using that, and I've updated my spreadsheet and I've resorted it by industry size so that all of our biggest industries appear up here at the top, with the exception of our 2 holding companies. And that's just so I don't have to scroll down to them. And all these 2 companies are doing is basically acting as commodities traders, so that I can triple the amount of commodities that I can deal in. I directly own both of these. So anyway, what we're doing today is we are going to be dealing with our commodities primarily. And we're going to be making money off of the interest rate swaps. And we're going to be putting that money to work. Primarily, we're going to be dealing with the commodities. And what I've decided to do is to change my strategy a little bit, in that prior to version 7.83, the volatility in the commodities was just huge. It was just incredibly huge. Like, for instance, wheat. You see how much it was going up and down and up and down? And over the last 2 years, it calmed down a little bit. I think we installed 7.83 right about here, and the volatility calmed down, and then it calmed down even more. So I think as the game went along, it uses the trending figures to determine what it should be in the future. And so this volatility has calmed down more and more as time has gone on. So what we're going to do is we're going to be buying wheat anytime it's below $4, and we're going to be looking to sell it at basically 5.25. So we're looking to make about a 20 to 25% profit. And on corn, we're going to buy it at $3 and look to sell it at 4.25 to 4.50. So all we're trying to do is make anywhere from 20% up to 33% on each of our trades. And with crude, we're going to buy it anytime it's below 45, and we're going to sell it at 75. Crude has been a little bit more swingy on a monthly basis, and so we're going to hopefully get a little bit more profit out of the crude, which means that it's now at its buying point, as is wheat. And even though we have a lot of companies that have it, they don't all have the full amount. So we're going to be trying to buy as much as we can, so that when we sell it, of course, we make the most we can as well. All right, stock index, pretty stagnant. Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Most of this is driven by the prime interest rate. I think I'm going to have to give up on getting a low rate at this point, even with the easing policy being confirmed in the last episode. It's going to be very difficult with all of the increase in net worth for us to get an easing rate. I think as soon as the game figures out that we are growing our net worth exponentially rather than at a 3% rate, that interest rate is just going to remain high. The only way that that's going to come down is if we get a scenario that overrides that subroutine that drives the interest rate up. Okay, but we're not really going to worry about interest rates. I don't think we're going to get enough time under our belt this episode off the calendar to really worry about the interest rate. We're basically going to be concerning ourselves with cashing out as much as we can on the commodity investments that we already have, and then trying to make some more because they are going up and down. It's just not as much every month. Okay, so we do have some things to do with Burlington Resources, but we're going to get to that after we get done with our commodities here. So starting with oil, I need to just go down the list, and we're going to make sure that we have everybody as heavily invested in oil as they possibly can be. Not concerned about how much money they have. I am willing to go into debt on this. So starting with me, and I just noticed when I updated my spreadsheet that we now have a physical commodities and futures contracts button on the entity menu. I don't remember that being there before, but it's nice to have so I don't have to go up to the buy sell anymore. So here's my physical commodities, and I do have the max on all three. So next, let's go to neck peripherals, and he only has oil and wheat, and corn is down to $3. So I'm going to have him buy the max on corn. Okay, and next is Berkshire Hathaway. And all he has is oil. And both of these are at their buy price, but I don't think he has enough. We're going to have to borrow to have him buy both. I think I'm just going to buy corn with him and see where we're at. All right, so he's got $23.5 billion left. Let's wait and see this goes down just a little bit more. Crude, we need to buy some more crude. So here we've got all three now. Here he's got oil and corn. All right, let's go to Burlington Resources. Let's see what he's got. He's only got 120,000 units. So let's buy the max there, and then let's also buy corn if he can afford it. He has credit of 123 billion, so he does not have enough. So I think what I'll do is I'll advance him money. Gotta go up here to miscellaneous, I think. Yep. All right, let's give him 400 billion. Start by buying oil. Okay, so I had him buy the full amount of oil and corn, and he still has 90 billion, which we're probably going to need for a cushion since he doesn't have any bank credit left. So we'll leave that there. So he has all three now. All right, let's go to Itochu. And he does not have the full amount of oil, nor does he have the full amount of wheat. And corn's getting a little too high now, so we'll wait on that. So let's have him buy the rest in oil that he can. He has to borrow 110 billion, that's fine. At least I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We've still got plenty of credit left. Okay, so who's next? Toyota? He's only got 15 billion, but he's got credit of 610 billion. So we'll have him buy as much as he can as well. corn has gone back down. Let's see, Toyota, how much credit does he have left? He's got 365 billion in credit. Let's buy corn as well. Okay, and shot right back up. So he's showing a nice healthy profit already because we bought it at 289. Okay, so next, that's Toyota. He's got oil and corn. Hagemeyer. He's got some, but he doesn't have the full amount. He's got 350 billion or 350,000 units. So let's have him buy some more before this goes up any further. Okay, we've got a notice regarding Sanofi Aventis. Tokyo television networks have announced that a bizarre and tragic event. Oh no, this is the seppuku thing. I'm sure plenty of you have seen this before. If you take over a Japanese company, there's a chance this could happen, and it's a fairly good chance that this could happen. I don't know that this is realistic anymore. When I first saw this back in the 90s, I was like, wow, that's pretty drastic. But I don't know if that's still something that could happen these days. But this is level 3. It's supposed to be more difficult, and this is one of the things that makes it more difficult. So, reportedly, much company property was burned and destroyed in the process. Television reports explained that to sell or lose control of one's company as Japan is considered a disgrace, in the same way that an ancient warlord or daimyo would kill himself before surrendering his castle. Understandably, no official of the company was available for comment on this unfolding tragedy. So all my managers killed themselves and they burned a bunch of property in the process, and that sucks, basically. But there's nothing I could do about it, and nothing really that I could have done to prevent it except to merge Sanofi Aventis into a company that was based out of another company or country besides Japan. So what I could have done was I could have bought a non-Japanese company, turned it into a holding company, and just folded Sanofi Aventis into it, and that would have prevented this from happening. But only if I had had the foresight of looking to see where Sanofi Aventis was based out of. But as you and I both know, we got over 50 stocks that we're keeping track of, and that's just not something we've been looking for. So my bad, my fault. So anyway, Hagemeyer, did we buy? Let's see if we can buy more crude. We can get 150,000. Let's do it. Okay, let's buy corn too. Okay, we need to focus on corn as much as oil before oil goes up any further. All right, so that was Hagemeyer, and we've got those already. So let's go and make sure on the wheat that we don't want to buy any more wheat right now. Okay, so we got the max. All right, so Nomura is next. So he could buy more wheat, but instead, wow, and that price, look at that, just going up and up and up. Up and down and up and down. All right, we can get 90,000 more units of oil. And we're not going to do anything with wheat right now until it goes down a little bit more. Corn, we will probably buy again because it'll drop back to 246 or whatever. So let's buy some oil. Wheat's down to 383. No, it's up to 401. Never mind. Corn did not go down yet. All right, so we'll get some more corn when it goes back down. All right, let's go to Dayton Hudson. He's got oil and corn. That's a bit high. I think I'm going to hold off. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the corn that we can afford to get here. I think this will go up. Oh, it just went up again. Okay. I guess we'll hold off. If this goes back down, then we'll resume. And we left off with Dayton Hudson. Dayton Hudson. Everybody remember that, so that when I forget, you can tell me. All right, let's go over to Burlington Resources. Oh, wow, we left the bank without cash. Let's go over to the bank. All right, let's sell off $1 trillion worth of mortgages. Oh, and by the way, with the interest rate coming down, I'm expecting gold to get close to 2,000, if not above it. And when it does, we'll sell it short. And the only ones that are going to sell it short are me and NEC and Berkshire Hathaway. I don't think anybody else can afford it, and I don't think we're going to find that many counterparties. All right, so what we need to go do now is we need to check out the integrated oil industry. And specifically, what we want to look at is whether or not it's time to cover our short positions and our options. We've got everybody negative now that we're growing at 20%. We just instituted that growth rate in July, I believe it was, and here we are a month later in August, or almost a month later. And the demand growth has grown, but it's still negative. And look at these prices. PBR is trading at basically his net value, which is up. He was trading at 80%. ExxonMobil, he's down to 268. He was at 350% of his net worth. Total is down. All of these are down. These were all above 200% previously. So I think we can cover Petrofina. I think that's the only one here that's trading below 150%. Oh, Texaco is. We can cover Texaco and Petrofina. The others still have room to come down. All right, so let me go to me first of all. And let's go to cover short position. Okay, so Texaco and Petrofina. So I don't have Petrofina sold short. So this one I've made $8 billion. And now we have to go everywhere that we have options on Texaco and buy them back or sell them off. And so we're going to start with Hagemeyer. Petrofina's here. We've made 10 billion, 10 and a half. And Texaco, whoops. Texaco, we have made 23 billion, almost 24. All right, so I'm going to buy back or sell off, excuse me, these are put options that I bought. So I'm going to sell my put options on Petrofina and Texaco. And then we'll try to find out where, you know, who else that we own has options. So I'll be right back. By not monitoring the amount of cash at the bank, we've created some extra work for ourselves because it looks like from right here that the bank sold off some of its business loans. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sold off 5 different loans before selling subprime mortgage securities at a 13% discount, which I didn't want it to do. But that's what happens when you don't keep track of how much cash your bank has. All right, so we need to keep an eye on corn. If it hits 4 1/4, we're going to cover or sell off all of our corn. Crude, when it gets to 75, we're going to sell off all of our crude. Silver, if it hits 24, we're going to sell it short. Gold, if it hits 2,000 or close, if it's in the high 1900s, we're going to sell it short. So the next thing to do is to go to who owns what and go to options. And we're looking for Texaco and Petrofina in this second column. So there's one here, but we don't own America Airlines. We don't own ADM. Petrofina, Boise Cascade we do have. losing money on it. Is that right? Okay, we should have covered that a long time ago, I guess. Oh no, this is Boise Cascade paper. We don't own that. Okay, let's go back to our list and make sure. Good there, okay. Options. Boise Cascade we own, but not Boise Cascade paper. Okay, so Texaco, Petrofina. There's a bunch of them with options on these, but most of them we don't control because they were the opposite side of the contract. Okay, so I guess that's it for those two. I think we've covered all of our options and everything on Petrofina. I mean on PBR. Let's go over to Hagemeyer and make sure, though. We may not have covered those options. I know I covered my position. Sanofi's earnings are up despite the company officers all killing themselves. Nope, no PBR. No Petro Brasileiro. So we're making a little money here, making a little money there. Making about 50% profit on Conoco. Breaking even on Total. So Elf Aquitane's way down. We're up on Phillips Petroleum and we're way up on Mobil. We're up by more than double on Mobil. Let's look at Elf Aquitaine and see what direction he's heading in, and then we'll think about covering Mobil as well. So Elf Aquitaine, he is losing a ton of money and his rating is to sell. He's also losing money on swaps. $1.5 billion on swaps, which is about 8% of his net worth. So his stock price is going to come down quite a bit. So let's look at Mobil. Okay, so he's negative, and he's not as negative as Elf Aquitaine, but still negative, and he's losing $1 billion on swaps, which is about 5% of his net worth, and he's trading at a premium. So we will hold off on him as well. Got no credit left too. Okay, so almost there. He just went up, but not enough. So I have bought oil. That to go up to 75, 409 and 405. So on wheat, we want to sell it at 450 and corn at 4 1/4. So to kill some time, let's go back to our list. I think we finished with HMA and we were on Imperial. His earnings are down. Up 443. Let's go sell all of our corn. Let's go sell all of our corn. All right, so starting with me, I am going to go to all of these companies, sell their corn, as long as it stays above 4 1/4, and I'll be right back. All right, price went down to 402, so we're going to hold off. Let's go back to Imperial Chemical. We will resume selling that off if those prices go back up. So let's take a look here. We're growing at zero, spending 13% on R&D. We have no dividend, and there's just all kinds of overexpansion. Their credit ratings are going down. Wheat's almost there. Got enough money to pay off our loan. All right, corn's back up. Let's resume selling corn. I don't think there's anything else we need to do for Imperial. 4 1/4. I think we'll go ahead and sell our wheat too, since we're losing some of our units to rot. So we'll go ahead and cover corn and wheat. We'll give up this 11 cents this time around just because we're losing our stock of it. I'll fast forward again and I'll be right back. All right, so all we have now is physical oil and then futures of oil. We're all out of corn and wheat. And if this goes back down, like I said, this below wheat falls below 4, corn below 3, we'll buy some more of it. Crude is on the way up and the interest rate is on the way down. So we need to take a look at our options again. But before I do, I just want to point something out. Over at the bank, we should have plenty of cash. And he's got $3.6 trillion. So we just pulled out $2.5 trillion from wheat and corn. We probably have the same amount again, at least $2.5 trillion, probably a little bit more in crude. And if we end up selling that off at 75, we'll need to make sure that we do something with this money over at the bank. All right, but let's go look at the integrated oil industry. Well, returns are negative. His price is up. The rest of these look to be about the same, if not up a little bit, which is not good. Let's see where I stand on my short sales. So Conoco, we're still making $4 billion. Exxon, we're only making $6 billion, and here we're breaking even. Let's go over to Hagemeyer and see what the effect is on his options. Up $4 billion, up $4 billion, up $10 billion, breaking even, up $18 billion. Wait, didn't we? Oh no, we held off on L-Aquitaine. And it's a good thing we did. He's down from 66 down to 53. Here we are up 6 billion. And Mobil, we're up by double. I guess we needed to cover our Mobil options right away. $54 a share. Let's take care of Mobil and then we'll come back and look at Exxon and see if we need to do anything with that one. Mobil is not one of the ones that I have sold short. So let's go to the who owns what. And we're looking for Mobil in this column. Okay, all the other options on mobile are with companies that we do not control. So let's go to back to here and see. He's up another 10%. He's still trading at twice his price, but we're still making a killing. Alright, so Elf Aquitaine's down to 135% of his stock price. And he's only worth 18 billion. So I think we can go ahead and cover those as well. Alright, let's go and see if any of our other companies have options on Elf Aquitaine. Okay, none of our other ones have options on him. ConocoPhillips is down to 121%. He's worth 33 and is worth or selling at trading at 40. So we can probably cover his as well. And I think I actually have ConocoPhillips sold short. Alright, and crude is up to 77. So let me cover this short position and then we'll start selling off our oil positions. Alright, so I'm going to cover all of my oil futures and my physical oil for as long as the price remains above 75. I will do that and fast forward and I'll be back. Well, we sold off most of it, but we still have a little bit. It dropped back down to 70, so I'm going to hold off on the rest. Notice that gold is down 250 points, 270 points. The interest rates are down. The GDP growth is up, but the index is pretty much the same at 13.3. I think we should buy some more index futures. Question is, can we find counterparties? Because we were down to buying 4 contracts at a time before. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy index futures unless this gets back up above 75. So again, I'm going to fast forward while I buy stock index futures. Get as many as I can. Hopefully it's a bunch, but I kind of doubt it. So shouldn't be too long, and I'll be right back. Let's clear out this list. I'd like to have Hagemeyer on here. Oh, there he is. Total Petroleum's on the way down. ExxonMobil is holding steady right where he's at. Conoco, we have doubled our money. Total's on the way down, as we said. And then Phillips Petroleum down 50%. Or I guess 25% anyway. Maybe 30. So let's see. Let's take a look at Exxon, see what he's projected for. He's projected to buy. He's reasonably competent. He's losing in on interest rate swaps. This has dropped to -4 from -1. Still trading at almost 300% of his price. Aquitaine we covered, and Mobil we covered. Texaco and ConocoPhillips are the ones that we really want to go down in total, of course. Exxon, I don't know why he remains high. Maybe it's because of his high dividend, I'm not sure. Let's pay off the loan here. McDonald's only has a 49% market share. Why are they suing him? Did we pick up somebody else in a bankruptcy? No. So more than likely those lawsuits will get withdrawn. Only a 48.8% share now. And GE is down to 50.7. I'd put this toward the loan if we didn't have so many taxes to pay. Alright, so let's see what else. I have no futures of any kind left. I have no options. And none of these are in a buying position anymore. The index has shot up 1,000 points. So we should be making good money on our index futures. Most of them anyway. Crude's dropping and wheat and corn are both staying above 5. So the main thing we got to watch is for when these oil companies are ready to sell. Wellington Resources isn't on here either. See, Exxon's at 57. He was at 55 a minute ago. 46 is the low point over the last year. He was there last month, so I guess we missed our shot, huh? Guess we missed our shot. Need for him to go back down. Of course, probably happen if this continues to fall. If this falls back to 42 or whatever it was, probably be all right. We don't declare until October, which is 2 months away. So let's back away from the options for right now and go back to Imperial Chemicals. I think we did everything that we were going to do there. Growing at 0, 13%. Got practically no return. We're very capable now, so we can drop our R&D to 6. And we may want to grow negative. If we grow negative, we can give ourselves a dividend. So let's make this 6. Let's make our growth rate -10. And let's make our dividend 1% or 41 cents. Omega is next. He's mediocre, but our earnings are up. Well, up but sliding back. And that's why. Getting 13%, have a 2% dividend because we have way too much cash. And I don't think we really want to do anything else. We could like buy this one and then grow negative. Probably not a bad idea. He's 100% public. And he pretty much, he's real cheap and he's almost entirely debt. So we'll buy him and then we'll change our growth rate to a -10. And that's all we need to do here. Next up is Itochu. Let's pay off our loan. So we've got $270 billion that we can do something with here. And we only have a 27% market share. AT&T is 200 billion and he has 66 billion in debt and he's 100% unowned. He's mediocre and his stock has been dropping the last 3 months. What I think we should do is we should buy him, merge him in, pay off the debt and grow negative. Yes, we'll close the options positions. Why am I forced to close positions on Hagemeyer? Oh, because that would put me over 100%. That's why. Here we need to cover these. Before we lose more money on them. Okay, so let's pay off the debt. Let's cancel our swaps. At 46%, and this guy's growing like crazy. He's running out of credit. So let's grow at -10 so that when he does run out of credit, we can grow. We are reasonably competent. So let's make our R&D 12% and our dividend is fine. That looks good to me. All right, let's check on these. So Exxon is falling again. Total is at 16 and change. Oh, we went back up to 17. How much longer do I need to grow at this rate? That's the question. I would really like to stop now, to be honest with you. But these figures just aren't coming down. And they need to, or we need them to. I would like to sell off all of my options and short positions before I quit this growth rate. Right, so kind of goes down now. Let's see. Forget, did we cover all those? So what we have now negative is Exxon and total. And Hagemeyer has options on all of them. Okay, so we can cover Conoco. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and cover them all. I don't want to drive Burlington Resources all the way into the ground trying to make money on these short positions. I think it's time that we just got out of it. So we're going to cover all of our short positions here. Basically going to break even, which kind of stinks because we paid a lot of money in dividends. All right, so I'm going to buy back all of these, or sell all these put options, and then we'll go and we'll do the same thing for all these others. We'll get rid of all the options on all the oil companies, and then I'll be back. Okay, so all of our options are sold off and oil is back above 75. So let's go to, oh, you're already there. Let's go and take care of HeartMax's oil and all the rest as well. As long as it stays above 75, we're going to sell all of this off and then I'll be back. I'm glad we covered the options on Exxon and Total when we did because their prices are up again. Crude has fallen below 75, so we're going to stop where we are on those. All we have left are some futures at Burlington Resources and HeartMax. We're still showing a profit, but I'm going to wait for that to go back up. I'm not going to sell it short or anything. Spot wheat we could buy at this point, but I'm going to wait for it to fall below 350. And of course, if it continues to go down, I'll wait a little bit longer, like for it to be bottoming out before I buy it. So what we got now is we got a lot of cash at the bank. 7.75 trillion, which is way too much money to be having at the bank. It's going to cost it way too much money in interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have him buy prime mortgages until we can find another spot to put all this money. Okay, so let's go to the bank. All right, and I'm just going to change this 7 to a 6. So we're putting all but 1 trillion in there. And even doing this, he's going to lose money on it. Like, for instance, I am earning interest on cash balance, 97.9 billion. 97890 divided by 997,456. I'm getting 9.8% interest on just on my cash balance. Right? And RakeM is collecting 9.91. So he's paying 0.001 more than he's taking in. He's paying more out than he's collecting. Even with this invested. But without it invested, it's this much. So it's much better to have it invested. Let's see. let's go back to our list. So we took care of Itochu. So next up is Las Vegas Sands. He needs to be split. Need to pay off the loan. That's going back up. This is down enough now where we can think about buying it. And I think we're gonna. Going back up. So I'm gonna start buying it. I'm gonna buy it, NEC and Berkshire, and anyone else with more than $1 trillion in cash will buy it. And of course, I'll make sure that the bank has money. We'll take some of that back out of mortgages, and I'll be right back. Looks like we've got another antitrust coming up to court on GE. Suing for $230 billion, will settle for 16. As usual, we will say no. And we had no judgment, so that's good. All right, so Itochu only has $27 billion in cash. So let's borrow and buy some corn, or excuse me, wheat. Bank's getting low on money now. So let's see, who else do we want to have do it? They've already done it. Let's have HeartMax do it. And then we'll go and we'll sell some more mortgages. Right, so oil's still below 75, so let's buy, just keep buying corn, or excuse me, keep buying wheat. So HeartMax got wheat, so let's go over to Dayton Hudson. He's got plenty of money. All right, it's gone above 350, so we're going to hold off on that from here on out. This goes down to 3 1/4. We'll buy it. So let's go back to what we were doing with our companies here. We split him, but we didn't really look at the industry, so let's look at this one. Growing negative, we have a 35% share. There's nobody really worth buying. Well, these guys are going broke. There's not really anything we need to do here. Our earnings are up. So hopefully we'll get a premium now that the interest rate's coming down. That the returns are terrible. 11% were mediocre. Let's lower that to 8. Let's see what, let's go over to the bank real quick. Let's see what his loan portfolio is up to. 4.7 trillion. And that's after selling off some of the loans that we had. Let's sell some more mortgages off and go see what's for sale in terms of the business loans. Okay, so not a lot. So let's just buy up all these ones that are BBB and below. I'll fast forward while I'm doing that, and I'll be right back. We now own all the loans for all the companies that are BBB or lower on the credit rating scale. I think I'm just going to do a few minor transactions here. I got some notes that I need to take care of. So Itochu, I think we paid off his loan, but I want to go check. Did not. Matter of fact, we did, but we borrowed some more. That's what we did in order to buy these. So he still has debt. Oh, that's not Itochu, that's Imperial Chemical. Okay, so his loan's paid off. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's put it all towards the loan. US Filter, I have an increased growth rate on him as the demand growth is up. Of course, our return's not that great. We're reasonably competent. So let's just make it half of what the demand growth is. So let's grow at 7. And let's pay off this loan. Las Vegas Sands, we already split. His income's going up. There it is. We even beat the estimate. And this is another casino that we can buy and merge in if we have the money. We're growing at -10. Ladbroke is down here. And he's only 100 million, so let's buy him and merge him in. Veristar is another hotel. Trading at 87, so let's buy him and merge him in as well. Corn's getting close, and our sell point on wheat, we're going to see if we can get it to 5, but if it starts to top out at like 450, that's fine. We'll be happy to sell it at 450. Short bond's way down. Gold's almost ready to buy. These are both moving. Our interest rate's only down 2%, but I would have expected silver to go up while gold's coming down. But our index is headed up, so that's good too. And we're up to 81.4 almost. Okay, so where did we leave off? Las Vegas Sands. I think we're done there. Right? We'll get -10, 8% on the R&D. So yeah, that should be fine. I'm just going to leave the dividend where it is because we don't have that much money. Once we get to like 6 or 7 billion, we'll increase the dividend. Okay, corn's ready to buy. Corn is ready to buy. So I'm going to go to me and I'm going to buy corn. And then I'll start at the top and work my way down, and we'll keep buying it as long as it's under $3 a bushel. Fast forward while I'm doing that, and I'll be right back. there's no need to fast forward after all. It jumped right up to 374. So let's go back to what we were doing. On Bank of RakeM, we need to increase the dividend, which is only 29 cents right now. We're going to make it, let's see, what's he bringing in? 370. So let's make this $2, the dividend $2. And RE, don't remember what that stands for. Oh, now I remember. Reduce earnings. I want to add to our reserve right here. And it's letting me do a lot more now. A couple episodes ago when we tried to do this, 7 billion was all it would let us. Now it's letting us do 185. Because right now we got 0.00 in our reserve. And crude is kind of stagnated. Okay, so he's done. And Progressive needs to increase his dividend as well. He's bringing in $1.26 and paying out 35 cents. So let's make the dividend $1. And we'll increase it if his earnings go up. So we're running short on time, and basically over the next few episodes, basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be trying to maximize our profit out of the commodities, while we continue to wait for the rest of the companies in the game to run out of credit. Once they do, we'll put the freeze on them again, and we will set our companies to grow. So once we get enough money off the commodities, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be buying some more companies in new industries. If we ever get a gap to where we have some time away from the commodities where the prices aren't at a buy or sell point, we're going to buy some new companies. We've got several industries that we haven't entered that we are going to enter. We made it down to household and personal products, so paper products, tire and rubber, base metals and mining, retail broadline, heavy machinery, all the way down to tobacco. We've already got hotels and casinos, but all the way down to tobacco is basically where I want to end up. And over the next few episodes, that's what we're going to be doing. Come the second quarter of next year is when we need to take another look at doing some more long swaps if our interest rate goes back up. We'll take a look at doing that, but between now and then I expect this rate to go back up. I mean, we are just making all kinds of cash, and I'm hoping that algorithm that works in the background and monitors what the size of the market is and whether or not it's growing at faster than 3%, will realize that it needs to raise that interest rate, because I think we're going to make a lot of money off our short swaps if it does go back up after the second quarter of next year. So anyway, we just have another week before we get another slew of income from those swaps. So I guess we can run the ticker. Not really any other notes to take care of. We've increased his dividend. I noticed that Dayton Hudson has fallen below his target price again. I'm just going to go take a peek at him and see if I can figure out why that is exactly. We made a bunch of money off of commodities and then reinvested, and he's already showing a profit. Only growing at 1% here. We're reasonably competent, so we could lower our R&D. Oh, I see the earnings are down, that's why. So we could make this 12%. Lower the dividend to 40 cents. And we have another antitrust against McDonald's. I would have expected this to be withdrawn, but it wasn't. So I'm just going to say no. And no judgment, no damages. So that's all we need to do. I guess that's going to be it for this time. Corn has gone down to 343, so hopefully we can buy some next episode. But we're out of time for today. So we're doing very well. Our net worth is up. Our companies are even healthier. We've got a lot of cash everywhere. And we'll want to spend a lot of that. The insurance companies can put more into subprime mortgages, and all of these others I'd like to get more money into commodities, since we're going to be trading at very slim margins of only like $1 or $1.50 on those price swings, which looks like is manageable. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and share, and until next time, this is RakeM saying, have a good one.